become crooked Joe Biden's top surrogate, I think, because he doesn't think Biden is going to make it. That's why he's doing it. He doesn't think he's going to make it, and it won't be him so easy. He's going to have a big fight. However, because there will be a lot of Democrats competing, it's going to be very interesting. But let's see. Look, some people say Biden's going to make it. Does anybody think he's going to make it to the starting gate? I mean, the guy can't find his way off of a stage. Look, here's the stage. Here's the stage. I've never seen this stupid stage before, right? I've never seen it. But if I walk left, there's a stair. And if I walk right, there's a stair. And this guy gets up. Where am I? Where the hell am I? Where am I? Nah, he's terrible. Terrible. You know, I'm much tougher on him than I used to be. Out of respect for the office, I was never like. He's the most corrupt president, the most incompetent president we've ever had. But when they indicted me, and then again and again and again, I was never indicted. Now I'm setting records. Al Capone was not indicted so much. Alphonse Capone. If you looked at Al Capone in the wrong way, he'd kill you. He was not indicted like me. I was never indicted. I didn't know. When they taught me at the Wharton School of Finance, they didn't talk about indictment. It's a disgrace what's happening. They weaponized elections. They've done everything. I mean, these are very bad people. But I used to talk.
Andy, Justin tested positive. Let's do a Q test.
Okay.
Whoa. What is that?
Who is this new device?
I'm Q, and I'm here to protect the family.
Hey, that's my job.
I'm a smart home testing lab. I'm fast and super accurate.
Please be negative.
Don't worry, I got this.
Whoa! Shh, they're coming.
Yes!
We're really warming up to you, Q.
Just wait till you see what else I can do.
After all the studies on the effectiveness of masks, you got to wonder, what are people thinking? There is actually a movement of anti-maskers invading shopping malls, heading into stores, and causing all kinds of disturbances. Lisa Guerrero reports.
It's a growing and disturbing new phenomenon. Anti-maskers invading high-end stores and malls, causing maximum chaos and disruption. No more masks! No more masks! They took over Bloomingdale's in Century City.
Hey, you're not wearing it right. Get a picture.
At one point, they broke out in President Trump's signature dance, YMCA. Anti-maskers stampeded this supermarket in Los Angeles.
He needs a mask. You guys are all going to get sick. Hey!
Watch as things turned violent in the freezer aisle.
Yeah, hey!
The altercation continued at the cash register. After anti-maskers stormed the Century City Mall, employees at a Steve Madden shoe store blocked the door with their bodies as people tried to force their way in. Screaming matches broke out with other shoppers.
My mother is in the hospital!
A lot of people die. That's life.
Shiva Bagari is an anti-mask leader.
Maskless shopping is for people that believe in freedom over fear. We are not going to be controlled by the media. We have our own thoughts and we have our own reasons for not doing things, and we're not breaking a law by not wearing a mask.
So do you believe that COVID-19 can be spread from people not wearing masks?
It can be spread no matter what. Those masks don't do anything.
So you don't think the masks help?
They don't help.
One person is dying in Los Angeles every 10 minutes.
I don't want to keep hearing
COVID.
these fake statistics.
That's
They're
not fake.
They're all fake.
Shoppers I spoke to are outraged, fearing they might catch COVID-19.
So you were here this weekend when the anti-maskers were invading this Ralph's. What do you think about this?
I think people like that should be locked up, and it's disrespectful and it's very barbaric.
I'm very upset by it because it puts innocent people at risk. And it's so unnecessary and so unkind and cruel.
Despite the backlash, the Shop Mask Free movement has more protests on the way.
And your point is what?
My point is freedom. You do not tell us what to do with our faces. And what you're doing is you're part of a satanic mask-wearing ritual wearing that thing. You are part of a
I think we're done with this interview.
ritual.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Shiva.
Well, police were called to a number of anti-mask protests, but no arrests were made.
Oh, peep the madness. Peep the madness. Now, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me out there, but I must explain why I showed that clip. That clip was back from 2020. Okay, so there are no crazy protests going on like that right now. That was a clip from 2020. I showed it because there's a method to my madness. Now, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me before I move on. Hearing you. Okay, cool. Thanks, Barry. Appreciate that. What's up, everybody? Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Appreciate you all taking time out of your midday Saturday to come and listen. I really appreciate it. But okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. So, yes, that was a clip from 2020. I thought it would be interesting to share because now that we're far beyond that, it is interesting to see how both sides of that dynamic was clearly set up. Both extremes, people who are like so into wearing it and people who were dead set against wearing it. I feel like both sides was controlled. They were clearly paid provocateurs. The anti-maskers on that clip were clearly actors. Especially the one lady who was wearing the red hoodie. Did you peep that her name was Shiva? Let me cut my camera on real quick. Did you peep that her name was Shiva? Of all names. And soon as the interviewer ended the interview or whatever, she made sure she said her name. Her name was Shiva, Hindu god. I feel like that was very important, very pertinent because of Operation Warp Speed. Do y'all remember the symbol for Operation Warp Speed? Do y'all remember? That little cube thing that had the little C-19, picture of the virus on there? That thing has roots in Hinduism. It was the Antakarana Hinduism, and Shiva's a Hindu god. So for the anti-masker in that interview to be named Shiva while wearing red, I felt like, okay, what were the odds? And the main protest in that clip was taking place in a store that had a black and white checkerboard floor. I'm just saying, like, that's why I showed that clip. I felt like it was interesting. So y'all let me know how y'all think about that. But I need to address this chat because y'all done came out in droves today, baby. How's everybody doing? It's so good to see everybody. Most Mundane, my number one hater. My number one hater was the first person in the chat. What's up, Mundane? How you doing? 3 fingers in the house. We got Bari. We got Pixie Doodle. We got Uncommon Woman. All y'all came out tonight. Oh my goodness. We got Shifty Eye Shady in the house. I don't know. I always feel like I have to say your name like that. We got the Samoan Watchman in the house. We got the prolific, the intelligent, the awesome Black Spring with Autumn in the house. How you doing, sweetheart? We got Nana P up in this piece. Oh, we got Scoville in here. We got Mick. Everybody, y'all done came out today in droves. It's so good to see everybody. We got the homie, Spiritual Logic, aka Hawk, up in there, over there dropping the word straight from the KJV. It's so good to see you, brother. Good to see you. We got Gary Gage in the house. Gary Gage said, are we reminiscing or is this recent? That was most definitely reminiscing. I thought I would share that clip because it's crazy that lady's name was Shiva. And the symbol that T-Rump used for Operation Warp Speed drew its roots from the Antakarana, which is a Hindu symbol. I'm just saying, a lot of this stuff is rooted in Hinduism, which they're when they pretty much wave their magic wand, they satanic magic wand, and a lot of stuff was rooted in Hinduism. I just thought I'd share it. We got Judy in the house. How you doing? Noticing more and more face diapers in Michigan for sure. Judy also dropped a corn. Good to see you. When conspiracy talk comes, they stop listening and start laughing. Facts. And she was just a terrible actor. Like, yeah, we believe when you wear a face mask, you blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, terrible. Like, if you're going to memorize your lines, you got to at least act like you believe what you're saying yourself anyway. I'm just saying. Terrible. Shiva's so common. Shiva's a sculpture outside of CERN. Facts. Hey, we got Latasha Jordan in the house. Good to see you, sweetheart. She smiles at the future. Good to see you. Running Shelly in the house. We got True Niece in here. Everybody. The mask just proved how indoctrinated and conditioned most are from the propaganda. Absolutely. It's just nonstop. So I just thought that all correlated together. We had the T-Rump clip, and then we got the Q commercial. The commercial, the thing is literally called Q, like to test for C-19. Like, come on now. And the T-Rump man with the Q cult was the one who brought us everything that changed the world with the anti-Corona symbol, with the roots of Hinduism, and that lady just so happened to be named Shiva. I'm just saying. There's that. I mean, with the protests taking place on the black and white checkerboard floor, like you can't make it up. Making it rain at the club. Yeah, they need to give these actors some lessons. Facts. She didn't even try. Like you're like, no. That's Satanism. No, it's all fake. It's all fake. So for you to just sit there and say, okay, it's all fake. It's all fake. It's all fake. I mean, yeah, people most definitely died from the over toxification of our environment. So when your environment is extremely toxic, you can label it as anything, and you can play off of germ theory. You can call it whatever. Yeah, people most definitely lost their lives, especially when the stab came out. So for sure. So just when people take that extreme, either the left or the right side of the extreme, you look like a fool. Soon as you start talking that crazy stuff, you look like a fool, and it just is what it is. So let's see. I got a symbol here looking like I got a weak signal. Y'all let me know how the stream looking, but that's what took me a minute to come on here. I was making sure I was wired, making sure my connection wired. I don't know why it's acting like that. T-Rump. Oh, yeah, that's his name. Now you vote for someone based on if they can find their way off a stage. Sad times. Facts. I do think that's hilarious, though, for him to sit there and make fun of Biden, though. I thought that was pretty funny. Black Screen with Autumn sent me. You guys had a good conversation earlier. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Gary. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you sitting there listening to all of that. Thank y'all so much. It's crazy. It's nice to know that there's like-minded individuals out there who want to hear what we have to say, because it is most certainly important. And it is such a pleasure, and it is wonderful to see you all. So I thought I'd come on here and just share a few thoughts about what's happening locally here in Michigan, because I feel like a lot of this is playing into the larger agenda that's unfolding all around the world simultaneously. Like, we got a lot of stuff going on right now, y'all. Like, wars everywhere, wars, rumor of wars, the terrorists making a comeback. I mean, when was the last time you heard Hamas, right? Like that kind of got tucked away, you know what I'm saying? So now they feel like they need to pull all the old tricks out, calling it, Israel's blind 11 and all this. So yeah, it's some crazy spiritual warfare going on here. So I'm not necessarily here to debate whether it's real or it's fake, but people are most certainly losing their lives, and that's sad, no matter how you slice it. So war is God's judgment of sin on earth, and hell is God's judgment of sin after death. So there's most certainly bad things happening in the world. So we most definitely have to believe the gospel and keep it moving, because it's some rough stuff going on here. And I'm just noticing some patterns, and I just thought I'd talk about it. But I really appreciate everybody for listening. 3 fingers. You wearing black and white? Facts. Figure somebody's going to say something. Hey, it is what it is. Hey, check the context, how's my fruit? What kind of fruit do I bear? On this here channel, what kind of fruit do I bear? Answer that question. So, and then judge for yourself. Not taking any side, just the side of Jesus. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's the same thing. It kind of wants us to play into the left-right paradigm. Okay, you with Palestine and you with Israel. Like, choose a side. You're kind of forced to choose a side. But no, the Bible tells us don't sway to the left or the right, because path of salvation is narrow. So we're gonna straight to the center. We're gonna go straight for Jesus Christ, because flesh won't see the kingdom of heaven. You have to be born again, believe the gospel. And everything is expensive right now. The price of everything is going up, but guess what is still free? The gift of salvation, and the price of that will never change, because that is God's promise for real. Judy, it is always so nice to see you, sweetheart. How you doing over there? So let's get into this. Hey, Krista. Hey, sweetheart. Happy Sabbath, sweetheart. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Straight is right. So let's go. Let's do this. I need to make sure I got the right screens up. I'm gonna close this search. Hang on, y'all. Stand by. Am I Richie from Boston, boys? Okay, so yeah, I am here to talk about. My eyes itching today. So I was having a conversation with my mom not too long ago about how everything is moving towards the era of convenience. And it seems like it's only getting worse. Which they're just implementing all kind of stuff to just make you stay home, make you sit still, make you freeze. So, whenever you get stuck up or you watch TV and somebody's getting robbed and they're like, hey, put up your hands, something like that, because it's much easier to eliminate a target that's not moving. They want to essentially eliminate all of our movement, all of your thinking, all of your choice. Well, at least you'll have the illusion of choice, but they really don't want you to have a choice. They really don't want you to move. That's the whole point of moving to the, electric vehicles and all that kind of stuff. 15-minute cities. Okay, movement is life, So you think about the kind of life that Christ lived. Christ literally didn't have an address. Kept it to moving. Then the multitudes would follow him everywhere he go. Then he preached outside. There were no church buildings. You know what I'm saying? There was no organized religion. Well, at least not under Christ there wasn't. But, he was here, preach against organized religion. But I'm just saying I'm going off on something else. But I'm noticing like a trend here. I'm sure you all are. I'm not going to be talking about anything that you don't already know. But I just wanted to share my thoughts on it because I don't think I've ever spoken, talked about this before. But Shifty, it's always nice to see you too. There's a spiritual war going on for your soul. Be armed. Absolutely. Put on the full armor of God. Absolutely. That's the only thing that matters. Krista came in like, hey, how you doing? Let's see. You should see the charging stations here. So stupid. People sitting in their cars for hours to charge their Teslas. That's the one station. Just think about the dynamics of an electric vehicle. Like, road trips make no sense in an electric vehicle. Like, you cannot go far in an electric vehicle. You can't go on no cross-country tour. You can't drive where you want to drive without having to sit for hours to get a charge. I'm just saying, that's going to be eliminated. They don't want anybody moving anywhere. Period. Like movement is going to be forbidden. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen real quick. But it is so lovely to see you all. I'll be sitting here talking to the chat. Cynthia Ava, did I speak to you? Cynthia, good to see you, sweetheart. I think I looked right over your comment. My apologies. I try to speak to everybody that hop in the chat. I really appreciate everybody for stopping by. And it will start making you pay to charge it. Absolutely. You know it. That's the way it's going to go. We got Bobby in the house. How you doing over there on the face barf side? And look, we still have to do a stream together, Bobby. You know that? I feel so bad about that. So I will be hitting you up. We should definitely do a stream together, brother. So thank you so much for stopping by over there on the Facebook side. I really appreciate that. So yeah, let me pull the screen real quick. Let's do a present. StreamYard always changing some stuff. Let me make sure I allow the audio. Last time I shared my screen, I wasn't even allowing the audio. Like, look, up here, acting like I'm new to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, baby. So I'm gonna take myself out. So this is kind of where I wanted to start. This is what started making me think about this. Maybe we should do a quick stream on this. Do I need to move a comment off the stream? Is it still on there? Hang on. Here we go. Y'all give me a second. I'm just making sure this is coming up on this end. Ooh, this delayed. Okay, I see it. All right, cool. Now, once this hit the news right here, I just thought this was very interesting. Uber will now pick up your packages and take them to UPS, FedEx, or USPS. So, pre-scamdemic, a lot of these convenience factors were kind of trickling into society, but people weren't using them in mass like they are now. I feel like that was the whole point of the lockdown, was to get people kind of used to this. Scared to go outside, scared to move, because when you're sitting still, when you're stagnant, not only do you gain weight, you eat the worst foods. When you're bored, when you gain weight, you get sick. It just is what it is. That's just the casualty of being stagnant, right? So when I saw this, I'm like, yeah, they don't want anybody to leave. Now they'll just come and pick up your packages, have everything sent to your house. Like, I thought this was just interesting to point out. Not sure if anybody has spoken about this, but Uber. Okay, this story is from October 4th, so whatever dates they're gonna quote in this is a little bit in the past. But Uber announced Wednesday it's now offering return package shipping through mail carriers through its Uber and Uber Eats apps. Everything is all about the little programs, the little applications. Everything has turned into a program in the palm of your hand, inside of the little computer on your phone, pretty much just destroying what resemblance of humanity we had left, because you can just appify everything. It's definitely not a word, but I'm just saying it's just what it's become, right? So the apps traditionally used for ride hailing and food delivery services now offer the return a package feature, which allows customers to send up to 5 packages at a time for a $5 flat fee or $3 for Uber One members. Drivers will pick up the packages and drop them off at UPS, FedEx, or USPS. I'm not really going to read through this because this is really simple, but now this isn't necessarily a new thing, but when it comes to Uber doing it, this makes me think of when they're going to have the driverless cars and stuff like that. Like, they literally don't want people doing anything. They don't want you driving. They don't want you moving. They don't even want you going to the post office. Now, remember back in 2020 how the arguments at the post office were a huge thing. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember how going to the post office was like a battle? And they made sure that aspect was in the news because that's important. So email really wiped a lot of the USPS out. And this just made me think of that, how eventually Uber will be driverless, completely automated. So they're going to be picking up your packages. You don't even have to go to the post office anymore. So I just felt like this was pertinent to share. I'm looking at the comments real quick. Went to Carytown, in A2 this morning, and now all the parking meters had to be paid through an app on your phone. Isn't that crazy? These EVs have been bursting into flames. Also, the electricity they use still comes from the grid. They use coal. It's all smoke screen. Absolutely. They need their so-called fossil fuels, which isn't a thing, to even create electricity. So it's wild, right? They're trying to eliminate the need for car ownership. Yep. And it's hey, we got Axiom Descent in the house. How you doing? Good to see you. Listen on the road. Thanks. I appreciate that. Absolutely. So yeah. So when you think about the dynamics of an electric car itself, it literally makes no sense. So someone earlier in the chat, I think it was Watchman, I'm not sure who it was, said there eventually, I think it was Shifty. Eventually they're gonna have charge you for the charges, to charge up your vehicle. So the cost to replace a battery in an electric car is so exorbitantly high anyway, that makes no sense. So it's starting to make a lot more sense to me when Klaus Schwab said you'll own nothing and you'll be happy, because it's going to get to a point where people are not even going to want to own cars because it's going to be so expensive. Like renting, cars is going to be the thing, especially when you look at the price of rent and the cost of living and stuff like that. It's so expensive it's so expensive to even rent. Like, people are going to want to take whatever subsidies the government has, especially once they offer the digital currency for you to trade in your dollar to do X, Y, and Z, to even have this affordable housing in 15-minute cities. It's going to be appealing to people because this is going to be so expensive to live otherwise, right? So I feel like that's where this is all going. So let's look at some more automation. Amazon launches drone delivery program for prescription medications. This was just reported on the 19th. Fairly recent story. I'm gonna see if this plays real quick. Let's hang on. They'll get medications to its customers. The drone can deliver hundreds of medications in 60 minutes or less, just literally eliminating people. The drones use built-in sensors to safely drop medications, assigned delivery zones set by customers. That's wild. The program is in the testing phase and is only available to residents in College Station, Texas. Don't want you going anywhere, but you can get your pharmaceuticals, though. It's interesting that they start that off with the pharmaceuticals, right? So that's typically where they take it. And they play off your heartstrings, and especially with that whole Tesla chip, the whole Elon Musk chip thing. How it'll help healthcare and stuff like that. They always go for healthcare. It's so interesting that Amazon is pretty much cornering the market for everything. Got their own pharmacy. Like, that's wild. Drones are now dropping prescription medications to Amazon customers in Texas within an hour of ordering. promising customers relief from standing in line because, oh, it's so horrible to stand in line, as if people haven't been standing in line for centuries. It's so horrible to get off your butt, drive to the store, and stand in line. Or maybe because it's frightening to stand in line because a virus just might get you. Or there just might be a terrorist there. Or there just might be an active shooter there. You see how this all works? That's wild, right? Just think how high your electric bill will be when you have to charge your car at home, especially when the whole family has an electric car. Most mundane. I support Agenda 2030. Hey, Gregorius. Wow. I haven't seen you in forever. Good to see you, sweetheart. Wow. How you doing? Y'all done came out today. Walmart has most totally changed. Oh, Walmart has almost totally changed the self-checkout. There are like 4 lines with one open, about 40 self-checkout. At least it's like that where I live. It's most certainly like that in my area too. Like the cashier is no longer a thing. You know, cashiers used to make decent money too. That was a decent job to have. I mean, people were like cashiers like for a lifetime. Like at least I remember old cashiers growing up in in the hood. The cashier's been at the local grocery store for so long, they know everybody that come up to the store. It's just really not going to be like that anymore, you know? They were actually paying those people a living wage because stuff was affordable back then. It's just ridiculous now, right? Let me see. So arriving in Texas within an hour of ordering, promising customers relief from standing in line, having public conversations about health, and strenuous wait times. Like they literally don't even want you talking to people. Having public conversations about health and strenuous wait times. Now, I worked in a pharmacy for 4 years. I was a pharmacy technician. I worked right beside a pharmacist for a very long time. I learned a lot about drugs, prescription drugs. And no, those wait times were not like that. Like it was not a strenuous thing. I'm just saying, unless we have some elderly patients and they had their caregivers come up there and pick it up, it's just not a real thing. And you are taught to not discuss personal information out in front of everybody. If it's a line full of people, you're not going to say, hey, are you here to pick up your herpes medication? Like, no, we were trained not to do that. Okay. It's very simple to keep people's personal information private. I'm just saying. Now, this is just a bunch of bull crap here. This is just an excuse to get people to go ahead and accept this. For now, prescription medication by drone is only available in College Station, Texas, about 95 miles northwest of Houston. Deliveries won't cost customers anything extra either. The e-commerce company announced in a blog post on Wednesday. Eligible Amazon pharmacy customers can select free drone delivery in less than 60 minutes at checkout. Amazon wrote on his website, a pharmacist will then ensure medications are loaded and transported to a customer's home within the next hour. The drones will deliver more than 500 medications that treat illnesses, such as, of course, this would be the first example, the flu, the very first example in the article. I mean, what are the freaking odds? What are the odds, right? Curious Georgia, good to see you, sweetheart. Or you might have to burn a calorie. Facts. Oh, burning a calorie. So horrible. Oh, so frightening. So frightening. Now that all the cashiers are standing around doing nothing, that will be the excuse to fire them all. Absolutely. Digital relationships only, said Krista. Facts. Most persons will no longer have cars. We eat our bugs and self-driving Uber, living in your sewer tube. Yep, you're right, Gary. It's just the way it is. It's so sad. I try to use lines with cashiers in place of self-checkouts. Keep jobs. I agree, Pixie Doodle. I do too. Like you didn't hire me to work at this store. So, why am I doing your job? I'm not trained to scan all these items. I mean, yeah, sure, a 5-year-old can figure it out, but that's not the point. The point is, I don't get paid to shop for my items, put them all in the basket, then I have to take them all out the basket, then I have to scan them all, then I have to bag them all myself, and I still have to pay taxes on all these items. Like, I didn't sign up for this. I'm just saying. Hey. So let me go back. I mean, man, I'll just be talking. So the illness such as the flu, asthma, and pneumonia in the program went live Wednesday. The company has already made its first delivery. Amazon's drone flies at an altitude of 131 feet. to about 394 feet and have a built-in sensors and cameras that allows them to move around people, pets, and power lines. Ah, great. Just something else that we need. Just more cameras. That's exactly what we need in the neighborhood. More cameras watching everything, surveying the neighborhood. I mean, who's to say that these things won't be doing exactly what they were doing over in China in 2020? Hey, go back home. Stay indoors. What are you doing? Like, y'all remember that? Remember when the drones was yelling at people, telling them to go back indoors, go back inside? That's crazy. So I'm going to get to the whole point as to why I'm talking about this. But so customers set up delivery markers to let the drones know where to place their medication. Once the drones reach a customer's home, they slowly lower themselves above a delivery marker. When the delivery zone is clear, the drone drops the package off and flies back to the delivery center. Drones can deliver prescription medications to both single-family homes and apartment buildings. That's wild. Through Prime Air, drones have safely delivered hundreds of household items such as toothpaste and dog food to College Station's home since December 2022, the company said. Check that out. Can you imagine all the noise? You know, drones are pretty loud too, but then imagine hearing all of that. Yeah, we're not really about to get into this. Why drones and how is this possible? Blah, 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 blah. Who cares, really? But we're just here to look at the bigger picture. I don't really feel like understanding how it all works. I mean, who cares, really? All I know is that this is eliminating jobs. This is eliminating people. This is eliminating the need to be around others. This is going to make it a lot easier for people to be at the 6 feet distance, right? The better hope. It's all so beautiful. Hold on, I'm looking at y'all comments real quick. In the 1970s, grocery store cashiers were among the highest paying positions available, right? That's exactly what I was mentioning. Like back then, cashiers, that was a decent living wage, and people would be a cashier until they retire. They would know the entire neighborhood and everything. They've been working there for so long. Let me see. Wait to see how this goes down in the Bronx. Those drones will never make it home. Facts. Yeah, can't wait. Let me see. Was that a drone landing pad? Hold on. Like a helicopter pad? Facts. That's exactly what this is. 5 foot danger, 6 feet safe. 5 foot danger, 6 feet safe. That's what my mom did in the 70s, 80s. Yeah, because they were making money, right? Your mom was taking care of the family too, wasn't she? That was a decent wage. That's crazy how they eliminated the cashiers. That's so bold, right? Let's go ahead and move on. Let's see. Okay, yeah. The same story. Amazon now start using. Oh, so this is over in the UK. This is not only happening in the US. I think that's why I pulled this up. Let me see. Is anybody talking in this video? This is over in the UK.
It's fun. I never thought I'd be getting packages delivered in my backyard. So when you order it, we see it within 20 to 30 minutes. So obviously quicker than having to run to the store and getting this stuff.
746.
Each flight must be monitored. A human must observe it too. Stay home, stay indoors. Don't talk to anybody. Don't go anywhere. Get fat, get lazy, get sick, and die. People are scary. Scary people outside. Never go outside, right? Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Hey, we got my twin in the house. We got Miss Maskless up in this piece. You know, somebody just asked me earlier if you were going to join me on this stream. Hey, sweetheart. I hope you're feeling better. Good to see you. We've got unknown challenger in the house. I missed the grocery store gossip too. Exactly. It was always such a pleasure to talk to the cashier who've been working in the neighborhood for years. This individual has seen everything. They know all about the divorces and everything. They done seen everybody. They know about everybody diet. Like, it used to be hilarious. I remember this. I remember talking to the old school cashiers. Like, you're not gonna have that dynamic in the neighborhood anymore. Like, they knew everybody kids. If you was acting up, they gonna tell your mama the next time she at the grocery store. Like, you're just not gonna have that anymore, right? Look at the size of that thing. It could carry munitions easily. I agree, Gary. They're trying to get rid of most jobs to make compliance of the only currency with the UBI type system. And I agree. Cure Georgia said, "Uncoolparanoia, you sounded just like that drone." Hey, I think I missed my calling to be a voice actor. I was talking to Ms. Massless about that. Like, there are more jobs this way. Mundane, be quiet. I'm gonna have to put you in the timeout. You just have to comment the opposite of what we talking about, huh? That just makes your day, doesn't it? Dang, hater. Yes, they better at least have the decency to make the drones quiet. They got air traffic controllers too. Facts. Jason Byers official. Amazon does not pack like that. Order a DVD and it will send it to you in a huge box with no bubble or void fill, and it would just be banging around in the box. Amazon does send extremely huge boxes for no reason, and then blame us for climate change and being wasteful. Like, you're doing it. Where can I get a drone hunter cheap? You see Aussie man cover the drone in bare video. Hilarious. Oh man. So and so just got a weave. So and so cheating. So and so just won the lottery. You talking about the grocery store gossip. You funny. Hey, Anton, good to see you. Stop it, guys. This is real. I support everything and nothing is fake. Shay Anderson, man, y'all done came out the woodwork today. It's so good to see all y'all. Look, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and read this whole article either. I mean, we get it. We get it. Dave Carbon, Vice President of Amazon Air. Carbon 666. Interesting. Dave Carbon. All right. So yeah, we're not about to read about how it works. Who cares? We know how drones work. So we'll move on. So one other aspect that I wanted to talk about, like, along with, the many conveniences that are being, hang on, I'm gonna cut my camera back on just for a second. So in addition to the multiple conveniences that are being applied to society now, we've got the intentional destabilization of our country as a whole and as of the economy. Like, namely, I wanted to talk about what's happening here locally here in Michigan. Like, there's so many strikes going on right now as we speak. That's kind of alarming. Like, unprecedented strikes, like strikes that are occurring for the first time in history. And what I'm talking about specifically is, there's 3 casinos here in Detroit. We got the MGM, got the Motor City, Casino Hotel. Then you got Greektown Casino. All 3 of them are on strike right now. 3,700 workers. The Detroit Casino Commission, this is the first time they have ever called a strike in their history. The first time. So, on top of that, let's see. The casinos rake in a bunch of tax dollars for the city itself. I mean, people spend a lot of money at the casino. For these people to be making so much money that they should definitely be paying these people a living wage. Like, I agree with that. But then, it's just alarming to see all of them go on strike. Like, all of them, like from the valet down to the tables, down to the people who clean up, down to the hotel workers, down to hospitality, down to bottle service, dealers, all of them on strike. At least all the ones who are unionized. Now, for now, the casinos say they're going to remain open, but it's alarming, and especially when you consider the UAWs on strike now, the United Auto Workers. All 3 of the plants in Michigan are striking, and now the strike is spreading to other states. Inevitably, it's spread to Ohio. Certain different plants around. So I just got a few thoughts on this. So, as while all these companies are striking, and then we've got, We just call it what it is. The invasion at the border. I mean, all these people were there. They would work for little or nothing, right? So we can kind of, I mean, I'm not going to act like I know exactly what's going on with that, but we can kind of surmise some surface level stuff. Like they're going to have all these people who need to work and who are not going to mind working for pennies. Then we've got the AI coming in, sweeping up, and now we got the robots taking over. So it's like we are literally witnessing the destabilization. Then we got overseas, we got Israel just experiencing their blind 11. I mean, they literally called it their blind 11. So blind 11 literally changed our country as we knew it. So I can imagine what's going on over there, changing their dynamic as they know it, which would inevitably affect over here, because what are we going to do? We're going to send them tons of money, allegedly, over there to further destroy the dollar. So it's all just kind of like, just all dominoes just straight up in a row. I'm gonna double check my articles real quick. I'm gonna close out the ones I already did because I'm gonna read about this just a little bit. Amazon. I'm about to close that out. Oh, here's one. So we can start with this. On top of the strikes, we can talk about the robots. The robots are here. Fears of employee displacement as Amazon brings robots into warehouses. Like already happening to replace these people. This was just written on the Guardian, Thursday, October 19th, just a couple days ago. Amazon is experimenting with a humanoid robot as technology company increasingly seeks to automate its warehouses. It has started testing Digit. It's an interesting name. Digit, a two-legged robot that can grasp and lift items at facilities this week. The device is first being used to shift empty tote boxes. The company's ambitious drive to integrate robotics across its sprawling operation. Of course it's sprawling. You want to know why Amazon is sprawling? Because it's one of the few companies that you were allowed to shop at during the crackdown, right? During 2020. They went on ahead and cornered the market. How convenient. And didn't pay taxes. I'm just saying. The company's ambitious drive to integrate robotics across its sprawling operation has sparked fears about the effect on its workforce of almost 1.5 million humans. Hi, Brady, the chief technologist at Amazon Robotics, claimed that although it will render some jobs redundant, he admitted that, although it will, the deployment of robots would create new ones. In a briefing at a media event at an Amazon facility on the outskirts of Seattle, Brady told reporters that he wants to eliminate all the menial, the mundane, and the repetitive tasks inside Amazon's business. I mean, why? Why? These so-called menial, mundane, and repetitive tasks, this type of stuff has been around forever. Forever. Like, people have been working these type of jobs forever. It's the service industry. Like, excuse me, these type of jobs help the world, keep going, right? Who are you to feel like they need to be eliminated? Who are you to make this decision for these people? What are these people going to do once you eliminate them? He denied this would lead to job cuts, however, claiming that it does not mean Amazon will require fewer staff. Like, what? At least not right now. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. We got the friendly outcast in the house. Good to see you. We got Ryan DeBoer in the house. People's reaction to inflation. Let me see. Yeah, you know they waiting on them robot dealers. Carbon relationship with melanin. That's exactly what I was thinking about, Anton. This is a very interesting name for that dude to have in a very wicked operation, right? Friendly outcast said getting lunch. Good to see you, friendly outcast. Thanks for stopping by over here. You would think, okay, Ms. Massless is you speaking to Ms. Massless. Okay. Look, I'm all late. New York to New Jersey, Massachusetts, bring your own bags. Poor mundane. Right, mundane out of a job. I also removed some social distancing signs in the park. Like a heroic boss. Well, that's excellent, Scoville. That's what I'm talking about. Boots on the ground, baby. All right, look, I'm all distracted. So In a briefing at a media event at an Amazon facility on the outskirts of Seattle, Brady told reporters that he wants to. Okay, yeah, I read all that. So, insisting that people are irreplaceable in the company's operation, Brady pushed back at the suggestion it could one day have a fully automated warehouse. There's not any part of me that thinks that would ever be a reality, he said. People are so central to the fulfillment process, the ability to think at a higher level, the ability to diagnose problems. We will always need people. I've never been around an automated system that works 100% of the time. I don't think you have as well. I mean, until the AI becomes fully self-aware. Look at this creepy thing. Ooh, creepy. I think I got a video of one of them things falling too. It's kind of funny. I'm gonna show y'all. Mm-hmm. All right. So Digit was developed by Agility Robotics, a startup based in Corvallis, Oregon, and backed by Amazon. The robot, which can walk forwards, backwards, and sideways, and can crouch, is 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighs 143 pounds. It can carry up to 35 pounds. Amazon plans to put Digit to work in spaces and corners of warehouse in novel ways, it said in the blog post. We believe that there is a big opportunity to scale a mobile manipulator solution such as Digit, which can work collaboratively with employees. Our initial use of this technology will be to help employees with tote recycling, a highly repetitive process of picking up and moving empty totes once inventory has been completely picked out of them. Ford, the car maker, was the first buyer of Digit robots. Agility Robotics got investment from Amazon's Industrial Innovation Fund last year. Separately, at Wednesday's event, Amazon announced it was deploying a robotic system called Sequoia at one of its Houston warehouses in an effort to speed up deliveries. The system is designed to help identify and store inventory 75% more quickly, it said, and reduce the processing time of orders by much as 25%. On stage, Brady said collaborative robotics involves people. How can we have people be the stars, the spotlight, the center of the show when it comes to the jobs that we have to do? When we do our job really, really well, our robotic systems just kind of blend into the background to become ubiquitous. You don't talk about your dishwasher too much in your kitchen. It's an amazing robot. It's such a great robot that I don't even call it a robot. It's not the same, bro. I'm just saying. There's that. So the point of me bringing this up really is just my overall point is just quick stream real quick. It's like this convenience and just eliminating the people, just preparing for a future without humans, preparing for a smaller population, preparing for everybody to stay home, for this stuff to be a lot more, a lot faster, more convenient. It's all the same stuff across the board. So here's another strike that's looming right here that I wanted to mention. This was reported back on September 20th. So this is still being debated. Major airlines consider strike that could potentially cripple entire travel industry. They don't want people traveling. They're going to treat these people so poorly to the point where they feel like they have to walk out. Not to mention all the, they're short on pilots, since Stabby Stab taking a lot of them out, right? If you're making plans to fly over the holidays, be aware that there could be some major disruptions from big labor problems looming with Alaska, American, and United Airlines. Travel experts say if pilots or flight attendants from even one of those airlines actually go on strike, it could cripple the entire travel industry. This means even if you're not flying, both train travel and even your rental car prices could spike. I want to make everything exorbitantly unaffordable for everybody. Every aspect, every industry is going to be affected by all of this. All of this is going to be some sort of domino effect. So this is exactly how you destabilize everything. Alaska, American, United, and Southwest have yet to agree on a labor contract with flight attendants. We've covered the informational pickets that have happened in SeaTac. All of them are now in federal mediation, and Southwest pilots have voted overwhelmingly to strike. Going on strike is not an easy option for airline workers because the National Mediation Board has the authority to prevent a strike. It can also decide if an impasse has been reached and when negotiations start and stop. All of those airlines have reported big profits in the tens of billions. There are 6,500 flight attendants at Alaska Airlines who are working with a 2014 contract. They're demanding a 40% raise to share their profits they help generate. And I feel like that's fair. These people they should have a living wage, right? Yep. Pilots seek new contracts with airlines amid booming travel demand. This was just reported on October 19th. This is from Reuters. North American pilots are pushing. Oh, hang on. My bad. North American pilots are pushing for better pay and working conditions during their talks over new job contracts with company managements. Members of some unions have voted to authorize a strike if a new contract is not reached. The aggressive stance comes at a time of pilot shortages and a rise in public support for unions. The following is the status of the contract negotiations at various companies. American Airlines Group, American Airlines pilots on August 21st approved the new contract that includes more than $9.6 billion in total pay and benefits increases over 4 years. Southwest Airlines Pilots Association said its members and company approved the strike mandate. It added that 98% of its members participated in the vote and 99% voted in favor of authorizing a strike. This is not good, guys. 99% voted in favor of authorizing a strike. Like, yeah, that could ground people. That can cripple travel. Imagine people that have already gone places and can't get back home if something like this were to happen, right? That's wild. I'm about to address the chat. I think I see a couple people I haven't spoken to. Hey, we got New Edge in the house. Sorry I'm late. I was binge watching reruns of Perfect Strangers. I love you, New Edge. Good for you, homie. Good for you. Let's see. Ryan DeBoer says cities in SoCal getting militant towards residential garbage disposal, no food scraps allowed and whatnot. Adjacent city has right to go through your trash to find violations. Wow. Your trash is illegal. Look at that. That is sick. Interesting that Amazon is focusing on the Houston area. I know, right? That is very interesting. Same with the drones. Houston was first to get 5th generation towers as well. Absolutely. What did Anton say, twin? Still convinced Ms. Max's alter ego is MM fact-checked incorrect. The green movement is the cause of all this gloom and despair. It's a combination of everything, Gary. For sure. So that's Southwest. 99% of Southwest has agreed to authorizing the strike. That's wild. Delta Airlines in March, the Airline Pilots Association said pilots at Delta had ratified a new contract that includes over $7 billion in cumulative increases in wages and benefits over 4 years. The new contract, which covers 15,000 Delta pilots, provides a 34% cumulative pay increase, a lump sum one-time payment, reduced health insurance premiums, and improvements in holiday pay, vacation, company contributions to 401k, and work rules. Air Canada pilots on September 29th staged a protest at Toronto's Pearson Airport, demanding better pay and benefits, and talks over a new contract covering 4,500 pilots at Canada's largest carrier continue. See, this is just not just in America. WestJet Airlines pilots will get a 24% hourly raise over 4 years, plus other pay and benefits as part of a tentative agreement reached in May, according to a copy seen by Reuters on May 26th. The tentative agreement was reached by Onyx Corp. So let's see, United Airlines. United Airlines pilots have ratified a new 4-year contract that includes a significant pay increase and other benefits. The union representing the pilots said on September 29th. The pilots will get a cumulative 34.5% to 40.2% increase in pay in the new 4-year contract, as well as better work-life quality, sick leave, work rule, and vacation improvements, and an increase to retirement benefits. Oh, Spirit, the ghetto of the skies. In January, ALPA said pilots at Spirit Airlines voted to ratify a new contract. The union that represents the ultra-low-cost carrier says 69% of the airline's pilots voted in favor of a new collective bargaining agreement, which offers an economic gain of $463 million, or 27% over the next 2 years. That's interesting. Let's see. Let's read a couple more of these. JetBlue. It said pilots at JetBlue Airways have overwhelmingly approved a 2-year contract extension. This is at least good news that some of them have decided to do something. ALPA, which represents more than 4,600 pilots at JetBlue, says 75% of the pilots voted in favor of ratifying the agreement, which provides for a compensation increase of 21.5% over 18 months, as well as other monetary improvements. me see. FedEx pilots have rejected a tentative contract deal with the parcel delivery firm, and two sides will reopen negotiations, likely under the supervision of the National Mediation Board, the company and the pilots union said on July 24th. Let me see. National Airlines, International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers union said on October 19th it has reached a tentative agreement with National Airlines. The agreement calls for across-the-board pay raises, so that's good for them. But yeah, if this keeps going, that's not good. It's not good, especially for people. I know people who, who are overseas right now and gonna be for a while. Like that'd be pretty bad if they go on strike, right? Let's see. Workers across Metro Detroit are out on strike. Here's who is on the picket line. I want to pull this article up to let y'all know how many strikes are just going around in my neck of the woods here. Detroit casino workers. I mentioned this earlier. Thousands of Detroit casino workers represented by the Detroit Casino Council are on strike after failed negotiations with the city's three casinos, MGM Grand, Motor City, and Hollywood Casino at Greektown. The Detroit Casino Council, comprised of 5 union locals, rejected a final proposal from the companies late Tuesday morning over concerns about protecting healthcare, job security, and wage increases. The union is made up of 3,700 members employed as casino dealers, cleaning staff, food and beverage workers, valets, and engineers. The union says Detroit casino workers bore the brunt of heavier workloads with fewer staff after the scamdemic. In 2020, workers agreed to a 3-year contract extension with minimum wage increases, and since then, casino workers have received 3% raises, according to news release. I mean, it's insane just to consider how much money the casino makes on a daily basis. It's like millions, right? Pay them people a little more. Just saying. Health insurance workers, more than 1,000 Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan workers walked off the job 2 days before the auto workers strike began. Workers are demanding that BCBSM eliminate a 2-tiered pay structure and stop outsourcing and contracting out jobs. The workers represented by the UAW have jobs in customer service, billing, and call centers. Charles Solomon, UAW representative for local union 1781, was out on the picket line Wednesday morning in front of the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan's Renaissance Center offices in downtown Detroit. Solomon said workers have been striking for the last month because they want fair wages and retirement benefits and COLA. He also said the insurance company's 2-tier pay system is an important sticking point. The union wants to bridge the gap between 2 wage tiers. It takes, he said, employees 15 to 20 years to advance to the higher tier and make more money. That's a long time. Wow. We just want a fair and equal contract, he said. Negotiations are ongoing, he said, and the union is waiting for a response and hopes to get some answers by end of this week. Yeah, this is wild. Nursing home workers. A new strike involving nursing homes in the region started last week. Nearly 250 workers at Fontainebleau in Livonia, Four Seasons in Westland, and Greenfield and Royal Oak started striking last week, according to the SEIU Healthcare Michigan. At issue are staffing levels, wages, and benefits. In June, the union ended the 8-day strike at a Redford nursing home with a tentative contract, and early in the year threatened to strike 2 nursing home groups as it renegotiated contracts. Auto workers. The United Auto Workers' historic strike against the Detroit 3 automakers, General Motors, Ford Motor Company, and Stellantis, crossed the 1-month mark last weekend with 34,000, almost 34,000 workers picketing at 44 sites across the country. That's crazy. The union has a number of demands, including eliminating wage tiers, a 40% wage increase, and restoring the cost of living adjustment. As the 3 automakers made record profits and CEOs received millions in compensation, of course they did. The union says workers deserve higher wages too. Meanwhile, companies continue to lose production, with GM estimating the cost of the UAW strike at 2 sites to be about $200 million during the company's 3rd quarter call. Union workers at ZF Classes Systems Alabama, which produces axles for a Mercedes-Benz factory, ratified a contract Thursday after being on strike for nearly a month. So the point of me just talking about all of this, like all this stuff is happening at the same time. So got the nursing homes, got the auto workers, casino workers, airline pilots, and look, even buses People are upset about the bus routes. Smart bus.
That's right, Carolyn. And tonight, take it out.
Thought I'd play a little bit of this clip. Fair use, fair use. Sharing this information
That's
for
right,
informational
Carolyn. And
purposes
tonight,
only.
take it out.
My bad. Why does keep playing? Sharing this information for educational purposes only. So fair use, fair use. I'm going to play a little bit of this just to show you that people are upset about the smart bus drivers because there's a driver shortage. They're about to go on strike soon. So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of this. I'm just driving the point home that stuff is happening right now. The economy is shaking. People are not working. People striking. People are demanding more pay because everything is more expensive from across the board in every industry, even down to your dinner table. People can't even afford to put food on their table. So they're striking. They're striking everywhere. And just imagine the effects this kind of stuff can have, right?
Action for. That's right, Carolyn. And tonight, taking action for those riders. Smart says it's a widespread issue. We're standing at one of those stops here in Birmingham where we caught up with some of those frustrated riders. They say the smart buses are often behind schedule and sometimes don't even show up.
You know how many times it passes up?
The smart bus rolls down Woodward in the middle lane. It's late, and riders at a nearby stop holler to catch the driver's attention.
Thanks for our government service.
Smart says they pick up over 9 million riders per year. It's Southeast Michigan's only regional public transit. Many riders are seniors, students, and professionals like Mark McHale, who says using the service puts his job in jeopardy.
I'm late for work. I've been almost threatened to be fired.
Mark is not the only rider fed up.
If my boss wasn't so generous and nice, I'd probably been fired a couple times.
Smart markets itself online as convenient and reliable. Some riders disagree.
It's supposed to be a convenience for us, and it's pretty much an inconvenience.
Smart is supported by federal and state tax dollars. Part of the reason routes have been canceled and buses are behind schedule is due to a driver shortage. Smart's in Action News a statement that reads in part, Smart has been open about the driver shortage we are experiencing and understands the impact that has had on service and our customers. Smart is not alone in dealing with this situation as it is a nationwide problem due to low employment. Their website claims its buses are on time 86% of the time.
I'd rather take a lift.
And back out here live, there are no lights at this stop, possibly a reason that driver almost missed those riders. Smart says 18 drivers are currently in training. It should help. Meantime, Smart is hiring. You can apply online.
So, yeah. Unfortunately, they're debating a strike as well, too. Yep. So just imagine like public transportation just not working. Like when they just decide to just walk off the job, right? Oh yeah, I want to show y'all the video of this little robot. Let me see. Hang on. I'm gonna refresh this real quick. Let's look at this robot falling. Here's Digit. Like, they have the nerve to say stressed like the rest of us. Robot collapses under pressure at exhibition. Here's Digit. They say Digit is stressed. Like, what the heck? How? Dumb, right? Dumb. So, here's the last point I wanted to make here. Now, with the calamity that's going on overseas, right? Over in the East. We're going to see this type of stuff right here increase. A 60-year-old Palestinian American was stabbed 26 times for being Muslim, the police say. His mom couldn't go to his funeral because she was stabbed too. Who knows how sincere this is, but I just kind of feel like I'm not going to sit here and read this. I just feel like this type of stuff is going to be used to control people, of course, just like most things in the news are. They can use this type of stuff, like this religious warfare, to put people back on lockdown again. Because when I saw this story, there was a shooting in Dearborn, Michigan a few days ago. One of my friends, his son works, well, this is his first job. He was working at a wedding venue, and it was a reception. And a guy came in there and shot up the venue because his Palestinian daughter was marrying, let me see, who she? I can't even remember who she was marrying, but it was some kind of like religious differences that they were having, and the father came in and shot it up because they didn't invite him, and it was like all over the news here in Michigan. So I'm just thinking, I just wanted to kind of show this. Like, I'm just thinking, like, are they going to use this type of stuff to like call lockdowns? Like, I'm just saying, especially with the war, so-called war overseas. Not necessarily here to pick a side or tell you exactly how that's happening, but the fact of the matter is, the calamity is happening and they're going to use it for their benefit some way, somehow. I mean, we know the news is fake, but either way, they can use it to complete their agenda, right? Yep, just saying. Hey, we got JP in the house. Hey, big brother, how you doing? Identified as a child of the 70s. Yes, they got to get us to hate. Yep, absolutely. I always see a huge bus with like 2 passengers. Hey, Travis Joe, I missed your comment. Hey, Indy. Indy, it's good to see you to stop by, sweetheart. If you're still here, good to see you stop by. Let me see. In Facebook years, I'm 120 years old. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop my camera real quick because that's really all I had to share. I just want to give some thoughts on some of that stuff. Like, we're seeing the rise of convenience. Stay home, stay safe. Same narrative popping up. Now we got the blind 11 happening overseas. So that's going to change the dynamic of a lot of things. So we got the wars and rumors of wars. So, excuse me. Stuff is happening. Stuff is moving. Like, yeah. Good time to be saved, right? It's a good time to get saved because you can pretty much feel like the world is burning around you. And, you got the Christians sitting there like, well, I'm just going to look up because my redemption draws near, right? I'm just saying. I just feel grateful that I just feel a sense of I don't really care right now. I'm filled with joy because salvation is still free, right? The price of that's not changing. I'm going to say that on every stream. I have a sense of joy that I can't even describe right now. So many people are freaking out. Like, what am I going to do? Like, well, what can you do? Get saved. It's gonna happen. The calamity will happen. Judgment will happen. America will be judged, period. Israel's gonna be judged. Just saying. Let me see. I'm just talking to everybody. Yes, they're using different draconian measures. Yep, for newer lockdowns, I believe. I agree. Strikes everywhere, destabilization. We got the invasion of the border. We got a bunch of people who will work for little to nothing. Okay? You just got home from church? Who? KE, how you doing? Thank you for your time and insight. Absolutely. I appreciate y'all for being here watching. I appreciate y'all. Like, for real. Absolutely. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. I wasn't going to stay on here very long, but I really appreciate everybody just taking the time to come by and watch. See that you are not troubled. Absolutely. Hold on. Let me highlight that real quick because I don't feel troubled one bit. Just saying. Christ is still on the throne. Christ has already defeated the enemy. So we just here to share the gospel. We just here to watch and report, observe and report. Hold on, let's check this out. What's my name? It's timed out with Miss Maskless. Yeah, he's a hater. He always got something to say. So yeah, there's that. So how's everybody doing? It's good to see everybody. I just wanted to come on and share that. I don't have much of anything else, but Shawan, I appreciate you. Appreciate your support, sweetheart. She's like, come on, sis. I'm just saying. I'm gonna always share that. I feel a sense of joy that I can't even describe. And I really felt it in 2020, just looking around, just seeing people just fall by the wayside, for becoming victims of their fear, being succumbed to the control, simply losing out for their lack of knowledge. And just to sit here and think like, wow, our king is on the throne. Our citizenship is not of this world. None of this matters. We just passing through, baby. We just passing through. We gonna do what we gotta do while we here. We gonna share the gospel while we here because that's what we ordered to do, right? Absolutely. Yeah, so I don't have any water back here and I'm getting thirsty. I know I'd be running my mouth, but y'all, it is so nice to see y'all. I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Everybody, thank y'all so much for watching. Hold on. I'm gonna read Travis's comment real quick. I'm saying you are beautiful, but your observations are what truly gives me faith in humanity. The journey is ours. I appreciate that, Travis. I appreciate that. Because we are here to help one another, push each other along. Because I know it's hard. It's most certainly hard. We got Marty in the house. Thanks, Uncoolparanoia. Enjoy listening while walking the dog and doing laundry. Great content. Appreciate your efforts to bring to us. God bless. Man, I appreciate that, Marty. Coming straight from Black Spring with Autumn's channel. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate the fact that you listen and commented. Thank you so much for that. Mundane said I'm hurt. Gregoria says blessings, everyone. I get timed out for no reason because you a hater. You know why you get timed out. This is nothing new. So everybody, God bless, be saved, believe the gospel, facts, Ms. Massless. Salvation is always a free gift. Believe the gospel and be saved because we have to. Don't read on my comments. We just growing. I have to. Yeah, thanks, my Dan. Appreciate that. Look, a positive comment. Look at that. So I appreciate everybody for watching. Thank y'all so much. So believe the gospel and be saved. Salvation is a free gift. So I'm gonna say that every stream so that people know. Yep. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, tell your family, whatever you do. So everybody, where the paranoia is most certainly uncool. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you all. Thank y'all so much. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'm not gonna hold you here. Look, I sound like a pastor. I'm not gonna hold y'all forever tonight. But the Lord said no. But no. Anyway, thank y'all so much. Love y'all. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up real quick.